And then that happened again the other night. I was walking across the street at the intersection, and this car came around the corner. Screeching brakes. I ran and jumped. Well, howdy, nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, our brand new day. Hokey smokes. Yesterday was not a good day. I'm going to talk about that, what little there is to actually talk about. But first, of course, the spider report. She's still up in the window. In fact, not only that, this morning I got my fingers in some water and spattered some water up there, and she kind of freaked out and went whoop, and then got down on the fan, and then after nothing happened, climbed back up into the center of the web. So hopefully she's going to drink and be okay. So here's a hoping. Past that, I actually slept better than I usually do last night, so that's a thumbs up. And it has been mighty cold, so maybe that has something to do with it too. And front-loading of videos. Hey, if you could toss me a like, that'd be very cool. If you could subscribe to the channel, that'd be awesome. If you could leave me a comment, any comment, even for the algorithm, that would be double plus good. And hopefully, maybe I've got my list updated and moved over here so that I'm actually got my fingers and hands up for an actual reason instead of just in the air for no good reason at all. I can't remember how long my hand should be in the air, but if the list is up there, each of those people is beautiful and awesome, helping to keep me and my kitty cat alive. Thank you very much. Without your help, I would be hosed. If you would like to help me out, there's a link in the video description to the Patreon. There's also a link to the PayPal for donations if you could help me out that way. There's an Amazon wishlist link with stuff like cat food. And of course, there's also my post office box, so if you send me anything at all, even just a postcard, I will show it off on camera. Definitely a thumbs up on that. Well, hokey smokes. Yeah, yesterday was great. Here's the story on what happened with my video editor. I used to use, and I'm saying used to, Hitfilm Express. And I've used it for some time now, and I've liked it a lot. But then, the people that make it sold themselves to a different company. And even though the creative people were still a part of the company, everything changed. The free version, where you could buy add-ons for, completely discontinued, no more updates. They took everything off the store. It was subscription model or free, and there was just one version. I foolishly went to install Hitfilm, because I wanted to try the update. And I foolishly thought that my account and the fact that I bought stuff would help. Nope. So I uninstalled Hitfilm Express, installed Hitfilm. Oh my God, no. It's terrible. The reviews for it are awful. Everything has gone downhill. No one likes Hitfilm anymore. I mean, they do. It's still a company. People use it, but not as many as they did, and review scores are down. So I tried to go back to Hitfilm Express. That's when I discovered I shouldn't have uninstalled it, because that's when I found out that all of the add-ons that I bought, that I paid for, they just took off their store and are no longer available. So I have none of the features that I paid for, and I have an outdated and getting older piece of software, Hitfilm Express. And of course, as I reinstalled it, it worked once and doesn't even load up anymore. So it's a flaming ruin where Hitfilm Express used to be. Before that, years and years ago, I used Wondershare's Filmora. And it didn't have features that were good, like masking and keyframing and other things like that. Hitfilm Express did, which is why one of the reasons I jumped ship, and I didn't like where they were going with the updates and changes to Filmora. I was using 8. I left at 9, I think. but they're up at 11. And when I loaded it up last night, it's still got majorly differences in between the two pieces of software. But I was really impressed with it. So far, what I've played around, it's got keyframing, it's got at least some masking, so thumbs up. We'll see how that goes out. It talks about compositing and how to do composite shots, so hey, here's hoping that it's going to work out. And I don't know if it's because I bought stuff and have an account, but it's a subscription model too. But there are a lot of free things, and while there are a ton of, you don't buy an effect, you subscribe to the package that has the effect, and then you get all those effects only as long as you pay for them. Instead of just getting the one effect you want or a package that you want, you gotta keep paying for it. But in the version that I have, it has a busload of free stuff, or at least stuff that I paid for that they're hooking into it. So it's gonna be a while before I get up and running at any sort of technical speed, but I'm getting there. But oh boy, that did such a number on my head yesterday. I mean, it was almost noon before I was able to get finished, which I was freaked out about that. And then just everything changing and Hitfilm exploding behind me. It was not good up inside of here. Not at all. And I tried to get things done, but then I had a 3-hour period of time where I was, if not fully sleeping, in a half daze where my brain just was not functioning. Oy vey, it sucked bad. And then on Facebook I found a post that talked about how I felt, which was, you're sitting around, you're trying to do things, you're screaming inside of your head to get stuff done, but you just can't as you sit and eat chips. And it was like, yeah, I was trying to get stuff done for like 3 or 4 hours, because I left to go walkies at 7. I couldn't. Oh my God, that was awful yesterday. So I'm hoping that today will be better, especially since if nothing breaks or anything like that, I am feeling better about everything. Plus, one of the things I want to do is, since I have already done the regular dungeon thing of Note Quest Expanded World, I want to do the Expanded World part of it. Do a hex crawl. Now, there are some hex crawl things that I'm going to change, and first I'm going to talk about, of course, hex crawls are just traditionally in role-playing games. They use squares and such for in-person tactical fights, one-on-one figures against figures. So some of the better systems use hexes, but still that's just so you can get more granular and more fine with how you're going to be using your tactics. Because having to defend your two slightly not good sides versus your front side really good versus your not very well protected at all sides back there versus your not protected at all back, that's a whole bunch to protect. Whereas to keep it simpler, a lot of them just use squares, so you've got front, back, side, side. A lot easier. Well, hex crawling, outdoor stuff, has traditionally used hexes for that. You draw your map on a hex, and then people do their mapping for outdoor stuff on a hex grid. That's what a hex crawl is. You're traveling over land, and you're using hex paper. So you're not going square by square by square, maybe 10 feet in a dungeon, but you're traveling, like 5 to 10 kilometers into the middle of a new square. And then you figure out what's in that giant area. Now, Note Quest is more simple. If you're going to do a hex crawl in like D100 Dungeon using their Overland book, It is heavy duty. I mean, with this one, Note Quest, you start in a circle, right where you are, and then you just roll a d6 for each of the hexes around you. And then you're basically done. You go, oh, this is plains, this is mountains, this is desert, this is that. And it takes a little bit of extra food to walk through various types. With like D100 Dungeon, you not only determine what's in the hex, you determine the name of the hex, you determine the features of the hex, you determine if there's a road through it, you determine if there's a river through it. Is there a settlement? How large is the settlement? What kind of settlement is it? What is available for you in that settlement? Note Quest, it's, I rolled a 6. There's a city. Done. Note Quest, again, a very fun game. But it's really good for if you don't have a lot of time, but you want to do something. Note Quest is the thing. Now, there are some rules I want to change, because if you're walking on a cold part of your world, one of the events is you walk on thin ice, the ice breaks, and you die. No. That's the old choose-your-own-adventure type of ending. In a role-playing game, you shouldn't have you walk on thin ice, fall into the water, and die. So, joy on that. But I want to show that off today, so hopefully I'll be able to do that. Now, let me take a look on here. What else that I have? I keep talking about this one, but I want to finally talk about it. I have, in the past couple of years, had my life and safety, I have said that wrong, and I want to try and say it correctly, but it's wrong. I've had my agency and bodily autonomy taken from me and put into the hands of somebody else about whether or not I was going to live or die 3 times in the past couple of years. These 2 just in the past month. The last one a couple of years back. I was walking at night crossing a street off a major road. This car came in the wet, so thank God for anti-lock brakes, shot into the intersection from the main road, coming right at me. By the time they saw me to the time that they were able to slam on their anti-lock brakes and stop was about 6 or 7 feet, and they were that far away from me when they stopped. If they hadn't noticed I was there, whap! Would I have died? I don't know, but that would have been me at like 57 or 58, and then whap, at least hospitalized. And then that happened again the other night. I was walking across the street at the intersection, and this car came around the corner, screeching brakes. I ran and jumped. So thank goodness these people had good reflexes, because it was up to them not to kill me at that moment. And thank goodness in this universe, they didn't. Now the last one, I got my autonomy and agency returned back to me at the very last moment. Now, you know those big old pickup trucks in the United States that, the hood comes up to your shoulders? They're made for doing, hauling and big stuff, and instead they're used by men who have like micro penises to show that they are in fact real men. One of those at a stoplight, stop sign, and there was lights there, so it wasn't dark, and the headlights were on, blaring at me. I'm walking in front of him. He's up there looking around. And then I'm almost past, and he starts driving forward. And if I hadn't run and jumped, that would have smacked me right in the chest. Now, they're at the height. When they hit you, that's above your center of gravity. You're likely going down. The guy didn't even see me in the first place. I might have been having a big old truck run over my frickin' legs at the very least. So it's fun going walkies. At least I haven't been murdered yet. And real quick, let's see if I can do this in time. I've mentioned that there are the created cryptids. There is energy from the razor's edge. There is energy from the inside. There's the cryptid energy out here on the outside. On the inside, that energy is very creative and likes to be used, which means only its flash point for discharging is very low. There's no anthropomorphizing of it. It's not alive. It's just its trigger point for discharge is low. It is a non-destructive discharge, and it does create. On the razor's edge, because this is a static energy formed because of the two universes rubbing together, this energy requires a destructive discharge. It needs to arc, and that arc is what is destructive, and then the creative forces come out afterward. On the cryptid setting, that creative energy is primarily used for created cryptids. These are cryptids that would not normally be alive, that through the animating force of the cryptid energy is, like the bus with your name on it, a created cryptid from Urban Fears. There is no driver on the bus right now. In security shots, for those few people that can pick these things up, because most cameras don't pick it up, but some do, the driver is just a mummified human corpse inside of a uniform, flopping loosely around as the bus drives. That is the bus with your name on it. And when you hear that mournful howl of the bus horn echoing through the night, it's got your name on it, all right, and it's gonna hit you, and you're gonna get smeared on the landscape. And it doesn't matter where you are. You could be on the 16th floor of a building, and this thing will ramp, wall ride, and then burst through the window and smear you. And then after you're smeared in the ruins of the restaurant, no one else gets hurt, only you. It'll back through the hole in the side of the building, and when everyone runs over to it, they can't see it. They can only hear the fading howl of that mournful bus horn as it vanishes into the night. You're gonna get smeared. It's a created cryptid. That sort of thing happens. Just like Malik, the Genki. It's a created cryptid, identifies as a male, but there was this madman who was an adherent of one of the cosmic horrors, used a ritual, a 3-part ritual, that was supposed to bring the creature to life, give it purpose, and then the 3rd part, release it. After giving it life, cops shot the guy to death. The ritual can never be completed, but the thing has been given life. As a created cryptid, it needs to devour human beings to continue to survive. But the mind that is running this thing is a generic composition of 12 victims who were drained of their blood, the blood poured onto the statue, and then the statue given life through that cryptid energy. Malik has to survive by victimizing, and Malik is formed from the personalities of 12 victims. Malik hates their existence for this, but because they were created with a 3-part ritual, the body will not let Malik do anything to harm the body, because it's waiting for part 2 and part 3 of the ritual to be done and completed, which will never ever happen. If you try to do it yourself, you're just starting another 3-part ritual, and it's already had life, so that won't work. Only Richard Jenkin, who's been dead for at least 150 years now, could finish this thing, and he can't. He died. And I've opened up 24 hours for the comments in my community tab. I'm going to go through and thank how many people have left me comments in the past 24 hours. I am super warm now. If I mispronounce a username, no disrespect is intended, and even though I count in American Sign Language, and I would normally be showing that, my brain, boy, they. So, we have Jesse Koskinen, by gum and by golly. I should get a skull. Oh, good golly. I should get a skull mask next. Or at least ask for one to see if someone will send me one. We have Vortex. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry for the gas here. Vortex, thank you very, very much. Greatly appreciate it. I would be playing more Minecraft, but I can't get it to run well on my system anymore with all the updates. We have Kelly Cosgrove, who, while not a wonderful statement, is not abusive. So, hey, that sort of thing stays up. I halfway agree, too. J-A-Y-Y, thumbs up, thank you. Good to see you. Chrono, greatly appreciated. Zuli with 3 Ys. Pretty much. There is M-U-I-S-E-O. Do not know how to pronounce it, but thank you very much. Greatly appreciated. A-L, thumbs up, thank you. Floramew, greatly appreciated. Good to see you in the comments. And cryptids are okay if they eat human neural tissue. Human beings are not okay eating human neural tissue. I think you're largely alright to eat human beings if you stay away from the neural tissue, but I'm personally opposed to cannibalism. It's just something for the sake of the story. We have Chris, greatly appreciated, thank you. We have Cake. Oy vey, it's been fun. But good to see you. There's Laura Isabel, greatly appreciated, and thumbs up, thank you. Ben B, greatly appreciated. Adrian, FNTES, greatly appreciated, and good to see you as well. Orphelius, thumbs up, good to see you. Thank you. Lots of comments, greatly appreciated. A Bizarre YouTuber, thumbs up, and thank you. And that is it. 10 people who left me comments in the past 24 hours. Greatly appreciated. Get me out of my head, into the world, dealing with the real people. If only in text, and if only for a short time. And of course, I would like to thank you, especially if you've watched this far. Hokey smokes, this far into it, the bulk of viewers stop before even 2 minutes goes by. So if you've watched this long, thumbs up and thank you. You have done it of your own volition, and that is greatly appreciated. With all the diseases and stuff out there, please be careful. Please be careful. The Covfefe bug isn't gone. It's still out there, and it's still dangerous if you get it, so please just be careful. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is a very good thing.